Under the glittering lights of the city, Eva appears to have it all: beauty, success, and now a proposal. The cafe where she sits, waiting for her boyfriend, Daniel, feels like the perfect stage for the next chapter of her life. The evening is warm, and the world outside buzzes with life. But inside, Eva feels a strange chill creeping up her spine. When Daniel arrives, late as usual, his smile seems to chase away her unease. He pulls out a velvet box, and everything around them seems to blur as he opens it. The ring inside sparkles brilliantly, a symbol of the life they're supposed to build together. But for Eva, the glimmer of the diamond is almost blinding, as if it's hiding something sinister beneath its surface. "Eva," Daniel says, his voice layered with anticipation, "will you marry me?" Her heartbeat quickens, but not from excitement. There's something dark, almost oppressive, lurking behind the romantic gesture. Yet, the pressure to say yes, to fulfill the perfect narrative, overwhelms her. With a trembling smile, she utters the word that should bring joy, but instead brings an inexplicable sense of dread. Yes. The word slips out like a whispered secret, a promise she's not sure she can keep. Days turn into weeks, and the elation that should follow an engagement is conspicuously absent. Eva is caught in a whirlwind of wedding preparations, but each step feels like a heavy chain, pulling her deeper into something she doesn't understand. Her friends gush over floral arrangements and dress fittings, but Eva's thoughts are elsewhere, consumed by fleeting images of herself in a different life, a life where she's free, unbound by the expectations that now threaten to suffocate her. One night, as she's flipping through a bridal magazine, a question hits her like a cold splash of water. Why? Why does she want this wedding? Why does she want to be a wife? Is it love, or is it the fear of being left behind, of not fitting into the mold society has crafted for her? The more she questions, the more uncertain she becomes. The ring on her finger begins to feel heavy, almost like a shackle, its brilliance mocking the turmoil brewing within her. She starts having vivid dreams, nightmares, really, where she's running through endless corridors, chased by an invisible force, the walls closing in around her. She always wakes up just before she's caught, her heart pounding with the terror of being trapped. In the chaos of wedding preparations, Eva begins to feel disconnected from herself, as if she's living someone else's life. One evening, after a particularly draining day, she stands in front of her mirror, studying her reflection. She's wearing her wedding dress, the one everyone insisted was perfect for her, but as she looks at herself, all she sees is a stranger. The dress, while beautiful, feels more like a costume, a disguise for a role she's being forced to play. The room around her begins to blur as tears well up in her eyes. For a moment, she swears she sees something in the mirror, a shadow of a woman who looks like her, but older, worn out, and hollow. The vision is fleeting, but it shakes her to her core. The voice in her head, the one she's been trying to ignore, grows louder. This isn't right. Desperate for clarity, Eva reaches out to her best friend, Sophie, the only person she trusts with her darkest thoughts. They meet at a quiet, secluded spot overlooking the city, where the lights twinkle like distant stars, far removed from the life Eva feels trapped in. Sophie listens intently as Eva pours out her fears, her doubts, her growing realization that she's not ready to be a wife, not to Daniel, not to anyone. Sophie's silence is comforting, a stark contrast to the noise in Eva's head. When Sophie finally speaks, Her words are measured but piercing. Eva, marriage isn't about fulfilling someone else's idea of who you should be. It's about becoming more of who you are, with someone who loves you for exactly that. The truth of Sophie's word settles over Eva like a shroud, both comforting and terrifying. She realizes that she's been living in the shadows of others' expectations, afraid to step into the light of her own desires. The question now is whether she has the courage to break free. The next day, Eva meets Daniel at the place where their relationship began, a quaint bistro tucked away from the city's hustle. The air between them is thick with unspoken words, the weight of Eva's decision pressing down on her like a leaden cloak. As they sit down, Eva can see the anticipation in Daniel's eyes, the hope that she be the woman he's dreamed of, the wife who will complete his perfect life. But as she opens her mouth to speak, she realizes that she can no longer play that part. "Daniel," she begins, her voice trembling, "I need to be honest with you. I love you, but I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to be the wife you want me to be." The words hang in the air, sharp and unforgiving. Daniel's expression shifts from confusion to hurt, then to anger. He accuses her of leading him on, of not being serious about their future. But Eva stands her ground, the fear that has gripped her heart for so long finally giving way to a newfound strength. "I've been so caught up in the idea of what my life should look like that I forgot to ask myself what I really want," she says, her voice growing firmer. "And the truth is, I'm not ready to give up who I am to become someone I'm not." Daniel's anger softens into something else, resignation, perhaps, or understanding. He realizes that the woman sitting before him is not the woman he thought she was. And maybe, just maybe, that's okay. They part ways, not with bitterness, but with a quiet acknowledgement that their paths are meant to diverge. Eva leaves the bistro feeling lighter than she has in months, the heavy ring still on her finger, but no longer a shackle. Weeks pass, and Eva finds herself on a journey of self-discovery. She steps away from the life she once thought she wanted, diving into her passions, her work, and her own identity. She begins to paint again, filling canvas after canvas with the colors of her emotions, each stroke a testament to the woman she's becoming. She reconnects with old friends, travels to places she's always wanted to see, and spends quiet moments alone, learning to listen to the voice inside her that she had silenced for so long. The more she listens, the more she realizes that the life she wants is not about fitting into a mold, but about breaking free from it. One evening, she finds herself standing on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the wind whipping through her hair. The sun is setting, casting a golden light over the waves, and for the first time in a long time, Eva feels at peace. She takes the engagement ring off her finger and holds it up to the light, watching as it catches the last rays of the sun. In that moment, she understands that love is not about losing yourself in someone else, but about finding someone who makes you more of who you are. And until she finds that person, even if she never does, she's content with the journey she's on, the journey of becoming herself. As she tosses the ring into the ocean, watching it disappear beneath the waves, Eva smiles. The future is uncertain, but for the first time, she's excited to see where it will take her. And as the sun finally dips below the horizon, she knows that the darkness is not something to fear, but the beginning of something new.